Yo, yo, yo! Welcome back to the MMA Short Show. As always, your boy, Steven Moustaris. And man, finally, us MMA fans have something to look forward to this weekend from start to finish, from fight to fight to fight. And I can't lie to you guys, these last few weeks, these last few months of these fight nights that have just been absolutely horrendous, have been borderline unwatchable at some points. I got to be real with you guys. It's making me kind of reminisce on the days when I first became an MMA fan, when I first found out what the UFC was back in my early teenage days, 15, 16 years ago, where I'm sitting there like, man, I love this. Finding out who Chuck Liddell is, Rampage Jackson. You go with GSP, Anderson Silva. You got all these. You can name them all. BJ Penn, early Nate Diaz. You could name them for days. I don't want to bore you with the names. But back then, my whole point is back then, you only had a fight night once every month and a half, maybe even once every 2 months. And they were stacked from start to finish. Phenomenal. It was fun watching. And, I've talked about it before, but it had me kind of thinking, man, do I miss kind of having just that break in between that really builds it up, makes you eager for it, makes you want it, and then a couple weeks later you finally get it and you're ecstatic for it? Or do we like having fights every single weekend that maybe aren't even that good, that where some of the prelims you can't even watch, that some of the main events might not even be a prelim fight on a pay-per-view, or the main event might carry, but that thing deserves to be on a pay-per-view itself instead of a fight night? It's just tough recently. So clearly in these TikTok era, it's TikTok days, you're going to want fights every weekend. But regardless, I'm ecstatic that UFC 314 finally has a beautiful fight card from start to finish. And this is where I want to get into it, man. What are the three biggest questions going into UFC 314? And I think the number one question is clear, man. Is Darren Elkins at 40 years old ready to go on his final title run? Can he do it? Psych. But nah, psych, for real. Let's get into it. The third most important question at this rate: is this man Bryce Mitchell going to pay for all of his Hitler comments and all these things he's been saying on his little press tour he's been doing on a podcast and whatnot? Are the MMA gods going to make him pay? Do the MMA fans want to see him go to sleep? Because this could be an opportunity for Team Fight Nerd and this man John Silva to go out there and put literally a career-changing performance out here this weekend. And I'm excited for it, man. It feels like the last 3 or 4 fights, it's been all hype. We've been excited for it. Not only does he go out there and is absolutely a showman, but he goes out there and finishes people right after some of the taunts and stuff that he does. It's all you could ever want. That's what most people want to see nowadays. People don't want to see the technical GSPs. Like, trust me, I want to see that. I know some of you diehards watching this want to see that. But when we're talking about your aunts and uncles and all these people that just pop up on one big fight card or go watch it on Facebook or TikTok, like, that's the guy you want to see. Somebody who's going out there, putting it all on the line, taunting, talking his shit, and then going out there and knocking somebody out and standing over him and emoting on him or whatever. That's what we want nowadays. And he could absolutely do this to Bryce Mitchell, and I'm excited to see if karma's real. But at the same time, if that man Charles Jourdain could go out there and take you down at will, like I'm talking about with John Silva, what's Bryce Mitchell going to do to you? So I'm a little nervous there. If you're putting my money on the underdog Bryce Mitchell, I'm not mad at you at all. You can maybe win something, but something just feels right. It feels like John Silva and this Team Fight Nerd really could be something true, and I think this is what's going to do it this weekend. So I'm ecstatic for that. And then again, number 2, going in, this might be my most important one personally, because I've just been a fan for years. But for people that don't really necessarily watch Bellator or watch outside of the UFC, if we're talking pound for pound, people in the last 10, 15 years, last 5 years that have been deserving of being in the top heap of the MMA, of UFC, I would necessarily probably say that this dude, Patricio Pitbull Freire, deserves to be on all of those lists. I believe it, man. He's a dog. He's been a double champ over there. He's taken out guys like Michael Chandler and former UFC fighters. Like, this dude is a killer. Dude is a dog. He's been doing it since 2004, since before most of our champions currently have been born. And he's only 37 years old. But I'm just questioning, does he have enough left in him to show us UFC fans what he's capable of? He's been through, I don't know how many fights, hundreds of fights probably, if we're talking from just his days in the gym and then some amateur fights and then pro fights, like easily probably triple digits. And between him and his brother as well, I mean, this man is just the truth, and it's just sad he comes over here so late in his career. But this is his chance to really put on. A lot of UFC fans love Yair Rodriguez. That dude is a dog, and he doesn't get finished like that very much. So if you go out there and put somebody out like him, and you might get yourself that title shot. We might finally see that Volkanovski Pitbull fight that we've been waiting for forever. So I'm excited to see what that happens with that one. And of course, to see Yair Rodriguez to come back after his fight with Brian Ortega, to see what he may have fixed, see what he might have changed. I'm really excited for this one. He could really go out there and put on a performance, man. And before I get into the most important question to me, my favorite one, I think most people's favorite, the only reason I'm not going to get into, is this Paddy Pimblett's turn? Is Paddy Pimblett the guy? I just got to be honest with you here. I think there's a really high chance he can go out there and take out somebody like Michael Chandler. And I'm not trying to hate on Michael Chandler at all. I've been nothing but positive about him. I love how this man might not win every fight, but he at least goes out there and puts on a damn show every single time for us as fans. That's what he loves to do. You can't hate the guy. But after 2 years of waiting for Conor McGregor, after coming back and getting pretty much picked apart by Charles Oliveira, and other than you having some wild little moment there in the last bit of the fight and jumping on your back, maybe not really necessarily looking for the most technical way of getting out of things, but just jumping and just trying to slam him, just trying to put a show on for us. I'm excited to see, man, because every time he gets to the top of the top, he's lost to Gaethje, he's lost to Dustin Poirier, he's lost to Charles twice, and the only wins he has are, his Dan Hooker fight. The more time goes by, it's more impressive, but since then he's only been able to beat this man, Tony Ferguson, and Tony Ferguson has died 8 times in a row, and he fights for the GFL now. He's not even in the UFC. So the man's lost 4 out of his last 5, 4 out of 4 if you don't want to count the 5th one because Tony Ferguson's not there anymore. But Paddy Pimblett goes out there and takes him out. I don't necessarily think that's like the biggest storyline currently just because of his opponent. Now, if he was fighting Arman Tsarukyan or somebody like that, it would definitely be up there. But I am excited to see what Paddy does. But the number one question, I think it's easy here. We're not breaking news. Does Volkanovski's chin have anything left in the tank? As much as I love this man, Volkanovski, and as much as him putting everything on the line and being the, company man, taking last-second fights, as much as that's made him a fan favorite, it really might have ruined his career at the end of the day. And it's no shame. He's already done everything. He's already accomplished everything. If he loses this fight, he's still a Hall of Famer. Nobody's taking anything away from him. But going out there and taking that last-second fight against Islam and that second chance with it, to go out there and get knocked out like that. And yes, I liked how he took some time off, but to come back and get knocked out and starched by Leah Tapuria at the same time, man, it's tough, dude. And I don't care what anybody says. This fight could go 3, 4, 5 rounds, and I could see Diego Lopez fading very badly and Volkanovski pounding him out. But then first round and a half, 2 rounds, this man Diego Lopez can sprint with the best of them. This man could hit anybody in the chin if he wants to. And it's just going to be exciting to see if this guy Volkanovski's chin, which got him so far in his career. I remember Chad Mendes cleaning some clean ones on him. I remember a bunch of fights where he's getting some clean ones landed on him. Max Holloway head kicks. I mean, my God, even that first Islam fight, that chin, man, has been there for years and years and years. And for it to go out, man, I'm just a little nervous for it. Diego Lopez ain't that guy. He ain't that guy. So I'm excited to see if Volk's got anything left. He's been very open about how he's finally found love outside of the ring or the octagon, finding what he should do outside of his career. And that's always nerve-wracking, man. We just saw it with Izzy. This guy wouldn't be touched by certain people back in his day. And now you're finding yourself losing to the young guys that are like, ooh, maybe I'm not hungry like that anymore. I've already won. I'm already in my satin sheets, as they say. So, as always, your boy, Steven Moustaris. Y'all let me know what you think about UFC 314. And let's go, baby. Let's go.